Jenna, international trade back in the headlines on several fronts. What countries and products is the U.S. president targeting this time?
Thank you so much, Shahan. Great to be with you all again. And President Trump took a stab at France today. He targeted French tariffs on American wine. He complained about them. He said, not fair, must change. Another headline we saw today was President Trump meeting with members of his team about potential auto tariffs. And I want to highlight one company that is stuck in the crosshairs of the U.S.-China trade war, and that's Tyson Meats. It's struggling to export enough meat to China. China put some retaliatory tariffs on American pork, and China is one of the top consumers of pork, so hence the problem there.
Yeah, now Apple, of course, has been falling over iPhone demand concerns. What's driving this, and what's the impact been on suppliers?
Yeah, that's a great question about suppliers. So we're seeing Apple's waning demand for the iPhone. Consumers just seem willing to wait for that next upgrade. We're also seeing a saturated market for smartphones. But thankfully for Apple, it has a little bit more of a plan B. It has a really fast-going other services segment that's streaming, videos, music, the cloud. But a lot of its suppliers don't have that luxury. They don't really have a plan B. I want to focus on one of them that fell 30% on Monday, and that is Lumentum. It is the iPhone facial recognition sensor. So it fell 30% on Monday, while Apple only fell 5%. So it seems what is bad for Apple seems terrible for suppliers. Another loser in this is Hon Hai, and that is the biggest Apple iPhone maker. They assemble the iPhones, and they reported earnings and quite a gloomy outlook there.
And speaking of tech, Amazon announcing some big news about its new second headquarters in New York City and Northern Virginia. What's happening there? What's the mood like?
Yeah, so Shahan, some disappointment for the 18 cities that did not get named as Amazon's second headquarters, but a lot of excitement for Arlington, Virginia. That's in Northern Virginia, a D.C. suburb, as well as New York City's Long Island City in Queens. Both of them named the second headquarters for Amazon. Amazon, of course, is the largest online retailer in the world. And Amazon is pledging $5 billion worth of investments, as well as 50,000 high-paying jobs. So as you can imagine, a lot of great expectations here for tax revenues. And on top of the second headquarters, Amazon's also announced a new facility in Nashville, Tennessee, which is also on the East Coast. So a big win for the East Coast. Amazon's original headquarters was on the West Coast in Seattle.
And to end off on a rather dreamy note, one of my dreams, of course, one of Manhattan's most expensive condos just saw a 15% price drop from $74 million. That was the asking price. What's happening there?
Yeah, so 15% price drop, but certainly not cheap. Still $62.8 million price now. It was on the market for more than a year, according to StreetEasy. You might think, why wouldn't this beautiful property be selling? It has a really luxurious private terrace with panoramic views of the Empire State Building, One World Trade Center. It has its own private elevator, grand ballroom, beautiful furniture, very crisp, 10,000 square feet, or about 1,000 square meters. As you know, space comes at quite a premium here in New York City. But again, that price was lower due to kind of slowing demand here in Manhattan for these nice penthouses. That's what the developer said. They said that they're seeing a slowing ultra-luxury market, and buyers just seem to be willing to wait a little bit more.
Yeah, just over $60 million. I'm going to take that money out of my bank account, going to make that deposit and move to New York. All in dreamland, of course. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. That was Jenna Dagenhart from Bloomberg in New York.